Welcome to another video where we will learn about a very important interview question and core Java concept, which is very useful for writing error-free code. The concept is the use of throw and throws in exception handling. Today we will learn how to use them, why we use them, and the difference between the two. Let's get started. Throw and throws are keywords in Java, which mean they have predefined meanings. Throw, as its name suggests, is used to explicitly throw an exception. Its syntax is throw followed by an exception object. The exception object might be from inside catch block where you are throwing an already raised exception or create a new exception object such as this. Now the question arises, why would you throw an exception? Consider this example. This method fetches some data from a REST web service and uses that data for processing. Internally, it calls another method that fetches data from web service and returns it, which is then processed. If due to some reason there is an exception in this method, then there is no point of processing. So, an exception is thrown to bypass the control flow, and this is done using throw keyword. When the exception is thrown from this line, the control will directly return to this line, which means that this processing code is not executed. So, anywhere when you need to stop some logic from executing, you can throw an exception. It is not necessary that throw can be written inside catch only. You can use it to throw an exception from anywhere you think that there is no point in executing further code. For example, here we are fetching data, but what if the URL is not there or it is empty? No point of fetching data, right? Since anyway there will be an error. So we will check if URL is null or it is blank, then throw an exception. This way, this fetch code will not get executed. An exception when thrown goes to its surrounding try catch. So this exception will be caught by this catch block, and the exception thrown from here will be caught by this catch block. If there is no surrounding catch block, then it goes to the caller method. If the calling method also does not have try catch, then it goes further above. This is called exception propagation, and it is explained in another video whose link is given at the top right. Hope you have understood the concept of throw till now and what is its benefit. If you have understood, then give me a thumbs up by liking the video. This gives a motivation for further improvement. If you have any doubts, then ask me anything in the comment section. Now, let's move on to throws. But before that, do not forget to subscribe the channel for more useful videos. Whenever you throw an exception, there are two options. Either handle the exception or throw it back. Now how to handle the exception? Simply by placing it inside try catch block as here. When you handle an exception, the lines after the catch block execute normally as if nothing happened. So, if I write something here, this line will execute and also this line. But sometimes this is not expected. For example, here if there is an exception in fetching data, then there is no point executing this code. So, to bypass it, we write a throw here as we saw when learning about throw. As soon as we write a throw statement, the compiler raises an error, and the error is unhandled exception. This is because we are not handling it, right? When a method throws an exception, it says that I am not handling it. It should be taken care by the caller. So, the caller method is responsible for handling the exception. But how does the caller method know that it has to handle an exception? It is by writing throws in the method signature, which is throwing the exception. Throws is followed by the exception class name. So, when a method uses throw and there is no catch block surrounding that throw, then it needs to write throws in its signature. As soon as we write throws here, the compiler raises an error. This method now needs to handle the exception which is being thrown by the called method. Now, this method also has two options. Either handle the exception or declare to throw it with throws. So, now you understand. Throws is used to declare that a method might throw an exception which needs to be taken care of by calling method. One final point. The compiler will only raise an error for checked exceptions. Checked exceptions are those which extend exception class. And this is why they are called checked. For unchecked exceptions, there is no compiler error. Now what are unchecked exceptions? Unchecked exceptions are those which extend runtime exception class. So, if I extend this class with runtime exception, look, the error is gone. Now, even if I remove these throws, there is no error even when we are throwing an exception. If you watch this video carefully, then you will be able to tell the differences yourself. Throw is used to throw an exception, while throws is used to declare that a method can throw an exception. Throw can be used inside method body, while throws is used at method signature. Throw is followed by an exception object, while throws is followed by exception class types. Throw is an action, while throws is a declaration. Hope the video was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.